A cordial greeting. Today is Wednesday, June 28, 2023. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia speaking. In today's video, I will talk about what can be expected in the Atlantic and Pacific regions over the next 2 weeks. In this video, we will be discussing the recently formed Hurricane Adrian in the waters of the Eastern Pacific. Additionally, we will talk about a low-pressure system, Invest 92, which is expected to become Tropical Storm Beatriz and pass very close to the coasts of the states of Michoacán, Colima, Nayarit, and Baja California Sur. In the second half of the video, we will be discussing the Atlantic region, particularly a low-pressure system located northeast of the Caribbean that may pass very close to Bermuda in the next 48 hours, possibly reaching regions of Canada. This disturbance has a low probability of cyclonic development. I will also talk about what can be expected in the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific regions over the next 2 weeks. Let's start by discussing the Eastern Pacific region, where we finally witnessed the formation of the first cyclone of the season. Tropical Storm Adrian rapidly intensified into the first hurricane of the season. It currently has maximum sustained winds of 75 miles per hour. Also, in this visible satellite image, we can observe the rotation associated with the low-pressure system expected to become the second cyclone of the season, named Tropical Storm Beatriz. It should be passing near some regions of Mexico, so it is important to remain vigilant about the evolution of this disturbance. If we zoom in on the region where Hurricane Adrian is located, you can see that it continues to show signs of strengthening. It is expected to continue strengthening for at least the next 24 hours. In the visible satellite images, we can even see that it is developing an eye. Fortunately, the cyclone is expected to maintain a west-northwestward trajectory, moving away from the region of Mexico, as indicated by the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center. Notice that as it moves west-northwestward, it will be entering an area that is not favorable for it to persist as a tropical cyclone, and the National Hurricane Center anticipates that it should dissipate in the eastern Pacific waters on Sunday afternoon without causing major issues. However, we will remain attentive to Invest 92, which poses a threat to the coastal region of Michoacán, Colima, Nayarit, and Baja California Sur. This disturbance has a 90% chance of cyclonic development over the next 7 days. It is almost certain that Tropical Storm Beatriz will form. Although we continue to monitor its future trajectory, today's models indicate that it should stay just off the west or south of the coast. It appears that the remnants of the tropical storm will remain over the Pacific waters. However, heavy rainfall is expected for some sectors in the west and south of Mexico. Then, for the weekend, it appears that the system will take a northwestward direction. However, the uncertainty in its trajectory is enough for the residents of Baja California Sur to remain vigilant about the evolution of this future cyclone. Fortunately, the influence of Hurricane Adrian is expected to impart wind shear on the circulation of the future Tropical Storm Beatriz. For this reason, although it is expected to strengthen over the next 48 to 72 hours, the current intensity models forecast that it would become a strong tropical storm or perhaps a Category 1 hurricane when approaching the coast of Michoacán and Colima. At the moment, we are not anticipating a very strong cyclone. It appears that the winds will remain over the eastern Pacific waters. However, the rainfall is expected to cause some problems as accumulations of rain reaching 100 to 150 millimeters are expected over the next 5 days. This may result in some flooding along the south and west of Mexico. Exercise caution and stay tuned to the meteorological service bulletins. If you live in flood-prone areas, remain vigilant for any eventualities. The good news is that the highest rainfall accumulations are currently anticipated to remain over the eastern Pacific waters. I would like to mention that it is expected that over the next 2 weeks, the eastern Pacific region will continue to be very active, given the expectation that this hurricane season will be more active than usual in the eastern Pacific. In fact, observe the projection from the GFS model, which predicts several cyclones that could form in early July. For example, here we have Hurricane Adrian, and also note that Invest 92 will likely become Tropical Storm Beatriz. Looking further ahead, by the first week of July, the GFS model even forecasts the potential development of 1 or 2 additional cyclones. Finally, the Pacific has become active, and it appears that it will remain active for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I would like to mention that typically when the Pacific region experiences cyclonic activity, the cyclonic activity in the Atlantic region tends to be limited. It seems that we will not see much cyclonic activity in the Atlantic for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks. However, we are still monitoring a low-pressure system located between Bermuda and the Caribbean. This system has a 20% chance of development as it moves north and will pass just east of the island of Bermuda. Regardless of whether it achieves cyclonic development, some tropical storm conditions are expected near the island of Bermuda. For example, here we have the projection of wind gusts according to the GFS model. It shows some winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour, which at the moment appear to be staying to the east of the island. However, any variation closer could bring some tropical storm winds over Bermuda, but the effects should be minimal, so you shouldn't worry. In the long term, this low-pressure system may be moving north and northeast, passing near Nova Scotia in Canada, where it could arrive with winds of 40 to 50 miles per hour. However, it should not cause major issues in this area. In the tropical Atlantic region, and as is typical during the months of June and July, we currently don't see any systems with the potential for cyclonic development. A strong tropical wave is moving through the northeastern Caribbean, but atmospheric conditions are not favorable for cyclonic development. It is forecasted that over the next 2 weeks, there will be a significant amount of Saharan dust moving across the tropical Atlantic. This, along with the activity in the eastern Pacific, is expected to suppress cyclonic activity in the Atlantic. For now, it appears that at least the first half of July should be quite calm in the Atlantic. It will be a good break as we prepare for the peak of the season in August and September. In the ensemble members of the European model, you can see that there is no cyclonic development expected in the tropical Atlantic region over the next 15 days. Similarly, the GFS model also indicates a very calm Atlantic over the next 2 to 3 weeks. It seems that all our attention will be focused on the eastern Pacific region to see if any of these cyclones could impact the western coast of Mexico. Well, that's all for today's update. To stay informed during this hurricane season, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to the bottom of the video, click on the red button that says subscribe, and then click on the bell icon to receive notifications when I upload new videos. This week, I will continue to monitor the evolution of the future Tropical Storm Beatriz and analyze the anticipated effects for the states of Guerrero, Michoacán, Colima, Nayarit, and Baja California Sur. I hope you all have an excellent day. Until next time.